CBS Village, time for a story from that. It's a CBS News site giving voice to diverse communities. And this morning, Tanya Francois from CBS News Miami shares a story about a once thriving neighborhood that vanished in the blink of an eye.
My family is from Railroad Shop Colored Edition out of Miami.
This is Rebecca Jenkins McSwain.
And the city of Miami took their property.
In this video taken by a historian with the Bow Strong Historical Resource Center, she tells the story of 45 families who were given just 2 hours to pack up and leave their homes by sheriff's deputies.
So my grandmother lived in the first section, and they just put those people out in the rain and locked their doors.
According to newspaper reports at that time, 119 people, including 70 children, were forced to get out.
The stories that I heard, it was rainy, they were throwing things out in the streets, there was fire.
Alexis Smith Parker's family called the Railroad Shop community home. First established in the 1920s, the area from 12th to 14th Avenues and from 46th to 50th Streets, it was made up of dozens of black homeowners and black-owned businesses.
Pictures here of the residents with all of their materials out in the front lawn. You see furniture here, some people rolling up mattresses, looking like they had very little time before they had to evacuate their homes.
I am standing in the middle of what was the Railroad Shop Colored Edition. Back in the 1940s, this community was surrounded by an all-white area. They decided that a new park and new schools were needed, and they said they wanted to build it right here. So today, this is Charles Hadley Park, and over there is what was Allapattah Elementary and Allapattah Middle Schools.
It's funny because they built it for the whites, but now our school is basically predominantly black.
The schools have been renamed and are now called Lenora Braden Smith Elementary and Georgia Jones Ayers Middle Schools, after childhood friends who both lived in the railroad shop. And you are the?
I am the daughter of Lenora Braden Smith. She would always point over here, it was a avocado tree. She said that tree was in their backyard. So they grew up in this neighborhood.
Smith Parker's cousin is Oscar Braden. His family was also evicted.
Their belongings were put on the street, and the houses that were left were demolished.
Demolished through eminent domain. The families say they can't imagine what life would have been like for them if their family members, the people who built the railroads in Miami, had been allowed to live in homes they owned.
This is probably one of the richest areas around in Miami-Dade County.
And what was $10,000 in 1947 is probably worth $750,000 today.
And nothing for it?
No, just a bitter taste, a bitter memory.
Tanya Francois joins us now. Tanya, it's a powerful story. It's an example of how history ends up in your bank account today, depending on how things went. Didn't go well for that community. I'm really curious if there are next steps or new opportunities for descendants of the people who lost their homes and their property back in the 1920s.
Yeah, since the story has aired, the NAACP locally has reached out to me. I'm reaching out to city commissioners as well. What the descendants want is some type of historical marker, just something to say this happened here. We have those things all over town. So we're really hoping that we can make this happen.
Wow, and as a result of your reporting, Tanya, that's amazing. So why was it important for you personally to share this story?
You know, I grew up about 5 miles away from this park. My sorority has meetings at this park. We didn't know. I interviewed, dozens of people at the park. No one knew. They knew the names of the park, different iterations the park has gone through, but no one knew that this community used to be here. And that's something that, we don't want Black history to be erased, and the descendants certainly don't want that either.
Tanya, anything from the story that, you're reporting that didn't make it into this piece that you'd like to share?
It's, again, more of the people who did not know that this happened. The more people I talked about, the different, people in the community who know Miami, who know Miami's history. Now, some of the historians were aware of what happened, but the people who live here and use that park had no idea.
It's just amazing.
It is. It really is.
And, yeah, so many examples across the country of this, yeah.
Tanya Francois, Tanya, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.